individual to serve as the representative of local government on the Board of Authority with an unexpired term that began on October 24th, 2019 and ends on October 24th, 2021. And the individual appointed by this council is no longer a representative of local government. And whereas this council desires to formally appoint individuals to serve the citizen representative unexpired terms that commenced October 24th, 2020 and ending on October 24th, 2022, and to appoint a new representative of local government to serve the remainder of the unexpired term ending on October 24th, 2021. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the Municipality of West Milton, Ohio that Section 1, appointments of citizen members for terms ending October 24th, 2022. As provided in the petition, this council hereby appoints Mr. Anthony Miller and Mr. Scott Hurst to serve the remainder of the 2-year citizen member terms on the Board of Authority, ending on October 24th, 2022. Section 2, appointment of representative of local government for remainder of term ending October 24th, 2021. This council hereby appoints Mr. Bennett Herron to serve the remainder of the unexpired term of the representative of local government that began on October 24th, 2019 and will end on October 24th, 2021. Section 3, open meetings. This council finds and determines that all formal actions of this council and any of its committees concerning and relating to the passage of this resolution were taken in an open meeting of this council, and that all deliberations of this council and any of its committees that resulted in those formal actions were in meetings open to the public, all in compliance with the law, including RC Section 121.22. Section 4, this resolution shall be effective from and after the earliest time provided by law.
Thank you, Ms. Rush. Ben, do you want to elaborate, please?
Yeah, so the legislation is simply a renewal of terms for the citizen members and changing the representative for the local government. The New Community Authority, or NCA, as it's called, is a public body that's governed by a board of trustees that oversee, they coordinate, construct and financial infrastructure and improvements and community facilities. Ohio Revised Code Chapter 349 provides the authority and procedures for forming and governing the NCA. So for Stillwater Crossings, the NCA members were just need to be changed and updated.
Yeah. Thank you. Any discussion with council this evening regarding the resolution? Any motions?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to accept CM-21-01 as written.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Cobb,
Yes.
Hurst,
Yes.
Horn,
Yes.
Tracy,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
and Mayor Miller.
Yes. Next up is CM-21-02, a resolution authorizing temporary advances for the Ludlow Falls Sanitary Sewer Project. Ms. Brosh.
It's a resolution authorizing temporary advances from the general fund into the sewer capital improvement fund for purposes of funding the Ludlow Falls Sanitary Sewer Project. Whereas the Ludlow Falls Sanitary Sewer Project has been studied, designed, and engineered and properly bid. And whereas financing of this project will include various grants and or forgivable loans, including a grant from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. And whereas the grant from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers requires the village to pay the vendor directly and then receive reimbursement from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers for those expenditures. And whereas it is necessary to advance funds from the general fund into the sewer capital improvement fund in order for the village to pay the vendor directly without said payment resulting in a negative fund balance until the village receives reimbursement. Now therefore be it resolved by the council of the Village of West Milton, Ohio, that Section 1, council authorizes the Director of Finance to temporarily advance funds for the general fund in the amount of $1,200,000 into the Sewer Capital Improvement Fund for the sole purpose of paying vendors for the Ludlow Sewer Project. Section 2, council further authorizes the Finance Director to execute the subsequent reimbursements of the general fund. Section 3, this resolution shall take effect and be in full force upon passage.
Thank you, Ms. Brush. Ben.
Yeah, so the Ludlow Falls Sewer Project is progressing nicely. They have run into a couple issues with rock and boring the rock, which isn't a shock, but it's always aggravating to them when they get to that point. We've been lucky enough to be awarded grant and funding sources from 5 different entities. One of the funding sources is the Army Corps of Engineers. We worked with them before, but sometimes they work out of different regions. this particular region is in Louisville, depending on how you pronounce it. They like to have us pay the vendor directly, then we reimburse us. I'm sorry, they reimburse us. So we're basically taking money out of the general fund, kind of as a loan. We're not allowed to have a negative fund balance, so therefore we have to pass a resolution to allow us to take money from the general fund, and then basically the money will be put back into the general fund. So it's just kind of a transfer in and out. This is a zero cost to the municipality. We're just basically borrowing for our general fund to a sewer line item, pay vendors, and then putting the money back into the general fund.
Okay. So no, just to clarify for everybody, there is no cost. The city is not incurring any cost, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, thank you.
Taking money out of one pocket and pushing it in the other.
Yep, and then put it back.
Put
in
it
the
back.
fund.
Do we know how long the reimbursement will take?
That is, we've been trying to find that out. This office does things a little bit differently, so the answers are on the original Army Corps of Engineers project that we had done seem to come a lot quicker. I would anticipate that you would be looking at probably no more than a couple months from the vendor being paid. The payouts get paid pretty quickly. When we see those come through, Choice One Engineering is helping us with that. They get signed. I literally sign them same day and return them so that the money can keep flowing
Right.
and hopefully flowing back just as quick. So I'm hoping no more than 60 days.
And then, will we have to, in the fall, we'll need to do a reappropriation to reflect that for the budget?
Yeah, well, by this resolution, I don't think we will have to because we're not changing, right?
No, in the resolution in section 2, it says that you're allowing the finance director
Okay,
to reimburse the general fund, so
Okay.
it's already gonna go back in there.
perfect.
But that's not to say we might not have other
Right.
reimbursements. It'd be nice to get them, but thank you.
Any other discussion or council questions?
Just have a comment, it'll make me feel a lot better if you tell me when we get the check.
Yeah.
Just want money.
Any motions for the resolution?
Make a motion to accept CM-21-02 as written.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Yes.
Hurst,
Yes.
Warren,
Yes.
Tracy,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
and Mayor Miller.
Yes. Last on the agenda tonight, 21-03, an ordinance to accept application for annexation. Ms. Brush.
It's an ordinance to accept the application for the annexation of certain territory containing 95.879 acres, more or less, in Union Township to the municipality of West Milton, Ohio. Whereas a petition for the annexation of certain property in Union Township was duly filed on November 2nd, 2020. And whereas council has previously adopted legislation regarding municipal services, buffering requirements with this parcel, and consent. And whereas the Board of County Commissioners of Miami County, Ohio has approved the annexation of said territory to the municipality of West Milton as hereinafter described. And whereas the Board of County Commissioners of Miami County, Ohio certified the transcript of the proceedings in connection with said annexation with the map and petition required in connection therewith, the clerk of council who received same on November 5th, 2020. And whereas at least 60 days from the date of said filing have now elapsed in accordance with the provisions of the Ohio Revised Code. Now therefore be it resolved by the council of the municipality of West Milton, Ohio, that section 1, the proposed annexation as applied for in the petition for annexation of Bennett Heron, agent for petitioners, filed November 2nd, 2020, and approved for annexation to the municipality of West Milton, Ohio by the Board of County Commissioners on November 5th, 2020 is hereby accepted. The territory to be annexed is described as follows. See Exhibit A attached here too and made a part hereof. The territory described on the attached Exhibit A is adjacent and contiguous with the municipality of West Milton, Ohio. The certified transcript of the proceedings for annexation with an accurate map of the territory, together with the petition for annexation and other papers relating to the proceedings of the county commissioners, are on file with the clerk of the council of the municipality of West Milton and have been for more than 60 days. Section 2, that the clerk of council is directed to make 3 copies of this resolution, to each of which shall be attached a copy of the map accompanying the petition for annexation, a copy of the transcript of proceedings of the Board of County Commissioners relating thereto, and a certificate as to the correctness thereof. The clerk of council shall then forthwith deliver one copy to the Miami County Auditor, one copy to the Miami County Recorder, and one copy to the Secretary of State, and shall file notice of this annexation with the Board of Elections within 30 days after it becomes effective, and the clerk shall do all other things required by law. Section 3, this resolution, it's actually an ordinance, sorry. This ordinance shall take effect and be of full force from and after its passage according to law. So that'll have to be changed.
Yep. All right. Because it is an ordinance, this is the first reading, and then we'll have a second reading at our next council meeting. So there will be no action, further action taken tonight on that agenda item.
Yep.
Moving on the agenda, managers report. Ben.
We currently have 18 applications from the states of Ohio, Nebraska, Michigan, Wisconsin, Tennessee, Colorado, New York, and Florida. 11 of those applicants have a master's degree of public administration. One has a general master's degree, 4 bachelor degree, 2 associate degrees. Of those applications, 11 of them have city government experience. We plan on receiving more applications as we get closer to the deadline. I know there's several that have contacted Paddle Creek and are extremely interested. And then the hiring committee we're setting up to meet next week, so we can start the process of at least going through, seeing how we'll, handle it from here. And so we'll be looking at some pretty good applications a week from basically next Tuesday. So yeah, pretty excited about that.
Great.
So.
Good news.
At Councilperson Tracy's request, I did reach out to Mr. Grafflin today from the Milton Union High School. I asked if it'd be possible to have a council meeting and/or workshop at their location. They didn't have school today, so he wasn't able to speak to them. But he sounded pretty positive about it. So the larger area would allow for us to have the mock council. Currently, just because there's so many of them and this room is so small, there's just no way we could safely distance in here. Hopefully the school can come through because the mock council has happened for a really long time. So hopefully we can work that out. The reason I bring that up is if council's okay with it, if they have open for next workshop, is that okay with council if we did that? And then they could have I could set it up with them and have whatever they wanted to do that same night. And then worst case scenario, does council mind having a regular council meeting at the school?
I wouldn't.
Fine.
Okay.
Try to bring this chair, it's pretty comfy.
Yeah. So I will let you guys know just as soon as I hear. So
Yep.
it was a very good idea. I actually never thought about it when we were talking to the school. I was, sad that we couldn't do it in here, but hopefully that works out. Plus, I had the pleasure of being at the wastewater plant this morning. The OEPA basically is doing everything virtual right now. They're working from home, doing everything virtual. So our water lab does daily water tests, and then our operator of record does all the paperwork. So they did we had Corey, Nick, and Tim do their water. Basically, it's their daily water checks, and they actually all 3 of them did outstanding. He didn't even have really any follow-up questions for them. I kind of wanted to break the ice, so I asked him if he was wearing pants, and it went over pretty well. So the guys were a little bit nervous being on virtual and having a screen pointed at you, so everybody kind of. And I also wanted to thank the service staff for the job they've been doing this winter. We haven't got a lot of snow in the last year or 2, and I know a lot of people they may get up late and just think we have heated streets, but it takes a lot of work to do what they've been doing. Ironically, the last storm we had a squad call right about the time that they were actually out plowing, and it happened to be a friend of my wife and I, and the squad basically said that they thought when they hit West Milton, they thought they were going to be fine going to the hospital until they got out of the corporation limits. So just want to thank the guys. It's a lot of hard work. And I do want to, the last thing I want to do is thank Lene for helping me with the annexation. It's been a long haul. I mean, I had never done one. I hope, you know, if we do more, that's great, but at least I'll be more prepared the next time. But I want to thank Lene. It's a lot of steps to annex property, so. And I will attach Exhibit A to council's copies. I know I copied it somewhere and it's probably in a file in my office, but I will get you guys a copy of the Exhibit A. It hasn't changed since the original, but I'll get you guys a copy of that.
Very good, thank you.
That's all.
Very good, thank you. Any old business for council this evening? New business. Under our new business, I will just kind of maybe expand a little bit, and Greg, please feel free if you want to add to it, but your idea for the senior government class. Do you want to speak on that, or, I mean, I can, but just where that idea from? I think that you said it the best last night, that that this is something that is important for them. It gives them an insight into local government and how it works and the importance of local government. We have been doing this for, I don't know how long, but I know it's many years, and it's, I think it's a very valuable experience for these high schoolers to get the chance to actually have an interaction with local government, see what it's like to make decisions, and the process that it's not just kind of thrown together. There is steps and processes behind everything. So Greg's idea was to find a solution to maybe have that, the possibility of doing that still. So hopefully the school is willing to work with us, and we'll be happy to move our council sessions out there into the gymnasium or someplace like that, there we can accommodate everybody, socially distance, and still give the kids the chance to have this experience. So look forward to hearing back from them soon. So,
Mr. Mayor, I would add that that wasn't my idea, but the idea of the students in the class.
okay.
I might be a little biased because my daughter's in that class, and she's kind of driven to get that done, but anyway, we had a discussion about how sometimes people tell you no, and that's the second best answer. So if you want to get it done, find a way to get things accomplished, and, you know, ask the people that might be able to get it taken care of, and that's what they're doing, so.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Class is doing a good job.
Well, I think it demonstrates the quality of the students, that they were interested enough to want to continue on and try to get around to finding solutions to carry on this tradition. So it's good. I love having the mock councils, because it gives me a lot of hope for future generations, because you can see the future leaders coming in, and it's just awesome. So I love it. So, but anyway, tell them thank you, and your daughter as well. Comments by citizens this evening. And if I can ask you to state your name and address for the record, please, sir.
My name is James Green at 210 Wagner Road. You jumped over when you said the old business, but y'all started talking about new business. But my question is this: we're going back now. Who got the figures? Y'all was going to have figures for us on the garbage.
Mm-hmm.
And did you get the figures what they was going to be?
We've not decided the exact rates yet.
Can you tell me how much profit that they make right now handling the garbage bills for waste management?
How much, I don't believe we
What kind of
turn,
profit is West Milton making out of it?
we don't make a profit.
You know, y'all hired another person to help and you don't make a profit?
Well, a government doesn't make profit, so I don't think that would be an accurate term to use.
Well, you said you was gonna make $100,000 profit if y'all took the garbage right over.
It would be a carry forward in our balance for that fund. We don't, local government doesn't turn a profit like a private company does.
Cause I mean, when y'all said that, you said you was gonna make $100,000 by taking over the
Mhm.
garbage route to start.
The carry forward balance, Mr. Green, we have not determined what the trash rates are yet, and so that would determine that number exactly. So I don't have that number for you.
Or how much did y'all
carry forward?
carried forward from paying the bills now?
I don't have that number in front of me. We can find that number for you and provide that to you, though.
Because you said, I think if I'm right, you had to hire one person to help with that.
To help with the new trash service?
Yep.
Yes,
And
sir.
that was the old trash service, right now, to help paying the bills, collecting and taking care of it.
No, we never added a new employee for that.
But my understanding, the last meeting that you talked about that.
You might have misunderstood. That was for the new trash service. We'll be hiring a new employee for that.
So far, you don't know what it's gonna be, but they're gonna start taking over on April 4th.
That is correct.
Yeah, because we need to let people know, because I've had a lot of people, like I say, contact me, want to know what it's gonna be, and I keep telling them, they keep telling us this number, that number, we don't know.
We have not decided on that number yet.
So, you know, we need to let the people know, you know,
Mhm.
don't keep them in the dark.
I concur wholeheartedly.
All right.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Any other comments by citizens this evening?
Hi, guys. Mike Kraft on Wagner Road. We had a water main break, right, on Hayes,
That's correct. Well,
I-71.
it was actually a double project. There's a water main break, then a valve exploded.
Yeah. Did that affect our water quality upstream or downstream?
No, we isolated it. The only spot we had shut down was a 6-foot area, in between, so
Cool.
we cut pressure. But actually during the main break, we didn't lose pressure. We fix our main breaks under pressure, so that way we don't get any contaminants in the water. We don't like boil orders, we don't like contaminants, so the guys get wet. And then the other one was just, we had to do a valve replacement. We isolated it and had it shut down, and actually just about a 6-foot area.
So you have to put in temporary isolation valves? Or how
They
does that work?
basically, we do a line stop on one side where they put a balloon in the line, and the other side they do an insert valve where they cut a valve in.
Uh-huh.
Then we shut that down, splice in it, cut out the old valve, and splice in a new piece, clean it, chlorinate it, and turn it on.
Okay. Yeah, I was just concerned about the water quality and how that might have, because years ago, we used to get violations at the old water plant.
Mhm.
We wouldn't know about it for days. So I was just concerned.
Yep, if
And
we
we
do a
get hit
boil
up
order,
with the
it's
EPA
basically-
with a big fine. You
Yeah.
probably remember that stuff. Were you here then?
No.
No, okay. Yeah, okay, well, that's reassuring. Great, thanks.
Any other comments by citizens this evening? All right, seeing none.
All right. Mayor, I move that council enters into an executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, or discipline of a public employee or official.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Cop,
Yes.
Hurst,
Yes.
Horn,
Yes.
Tracy,
Yes.
Dews,
Yes.
and Mayor Miller.
Yes. Everyone is welcome to stay. If you'd like, there will be no further action taken after we come out of executive session. So there will be no other business conducted, and we'll adjourn shortly after the executive session is ended. Thank you.